Vivacious, vigilant Virgos, welcome. It is Sachi, and we are here to do your bonus reading. We're going to do a see what pops up reading where we just see what pops up. Thank you guys for being number one in this past month. So you are going to get your bonus reading, which we're doing now, and you also have the extended for free. So thank you again for all of your support on this channel. So I want to talk a little bit about the energy I was feeling when I tapped into you. So I feel like a lot of you are going through a transition when it comes to career, or what you're doing with your time, basically, because it feels like you are recognizing that you are not being compensated fairly or enough for what sustains you, basically. And it felt like some of you are being put in this position of, it's like you didn't stand up for your worth for so long, and then some of you are like kind of taking a stance now, and then, you know, whoever you're taking the stance against or, you know, towards is basically saying no. So you're kind of being put in this position of, okay, well, do I put all my eggs in this basket and continue? And what I was getting is that the answer is no. You know, it's not the time to be putting your eggs in a basket in a place, you know, towards people or job or whatever that don't truly value you or your time or what you bring to the table. Because I was feeling that for some of you, you know, these companies or establishments that you're working for are actually going to go under or crumble in the coming year or so. So now would not be the time to reinvest yourself into these establishments. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so, you know, take it with what you will. Also, I have a figurine that's an angel, and, you know, Virgo, you are the angel of the zodiac, and she fell right before I started your reading and her wings broke. And so, you know, there is something to be said about, you know, Virgo being the angel of the zodiac, and it represents, you know, that high vibrational light that you bring to the world. And a lot of it is that service that you have to others, sort of this self-sacrificing service with, you know, really just the greater good in mind of doing things out of the kindness of your heart. And although you are earth angels, you need to remember you are also human. And so, you know, earth angels also need to be compensated so that they can have an established and healthy relationship with the material world. And it feels like the energy that you've been giving has not been reciprocated. And for some of you, it may be this energy of not even that you're working harder to earn more, but it's like just the spiritual and emotional work that you have been doing on yourself. You've done so much work energetically that you know you deserve more physically. And if, you know, the environments that you are in are not providing that, you have to trust that the universe is going to provide it elsewhere. Okay. And again, for some of you, I was feeling that you are leaving a position. And additionally, one of my angel guides came to me and told me that I needed to blow out my candle, which I usually keep lit during my reading. So I feel like it's really this flame that's going out. It could be something that you love to do that is being blown out. I was also getting the messages that some of you need to change, you know, your candles, or, you know, don't use Febreze and things like that, because you really need to be careful about the fragrances that are actually endocrine disruptors that are in your life, whether that's your perfume or, you know, air freshener or candles or incense or anything like that. You want to be very careful right now about, you know, what you're inhaling. Okay. So anyway, Virgo, I know that was kind of a long intro, but let's get started. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. So we had the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the High Priestess, the King of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the World. So, you know, as I mentioned, you know, you're feeling like things aren't necessarily being poured into you the way that you pour into them. The Seven of Pentacles, although it's a Pentacles energy, this represents that, you know, needing to have an emotional input, right? She's giving emotions, giving water in order for this to grow. So this is telling me that you're no longer giving, you know, the emotional and energetic energy for something to grow. And you may have even recognized, you know, there's no room for me to grow here. I can't, you know, grow in some sort of way. I've kind of reached this point because external factors are basically stopping me from being able to grow the way I want to grow. And with the High Priestess, again, your intuition's on point. You already know the answers. You know, you're very tapped in. The High Priestess is your divine feminine energy that is in tune with the spiritual realm. And so you already know the answers. You are listening to your intuition. With the King of Cups, you know with the intuition that your masculine energy is very grounded when it comes to emotional stability. And so again, it feels like you're so grounded in your own emotional whatever it may be, that you're recognizing, you know, I'm so emotionally grounded, I can no longer pour into things that aren't growing or helping me grow. With the Nine of Cups, this is the card of wish fulfillment. Again, so it's like a genie is here sort of granting your wish. And it seems like the wish is the conclusion of the cycle of really ending things. The World card is the last card of the major arcana, which indicates the ending of the cycle. You've learned the lesson, and now, you know, you will be back out into the world basically to learn some sort of new lesson. And so much so that your world changes, right? Your reality shifts based on the lesson that you've learned because you've integrated it into your body. So we have Trainer, Shopping Center in reverse. Trainer does indicate somebody else's energy, but basically what I'm getting here is you're not really worried about the financial repercussions of whatever energy that you are undertaking. You know that you just have to sort of lower your expenses of like, you know what, I could make by without a lot. I just need to sort of shop less is what I'm feeling. And with the third eye in reverse, it does seem like there could be a little bit of mental distress. And maybe it's someone else who's talking about your spending habits or something like that. But this is, you know, it's psychic energy in reverse, which is the third eye. So it feels like, you know, could be under a little bit of mental duress at this time. Maybe might be getting headaches and things like that. And then we had the aromatic energy card come out, which I just take as a solidification of that message I was getting of you really need to be careful of the aromas that are around you, and do not buy things that are toxic. Do not buy candles that have fragrance, right? Fragrance is basically a code word, a legal code word for poison, right? They're endocrine disruptors, similar to how like natural flavoring or artificial flavoring can be anything, right? It can be a small dose of poison, and it's legal to put that into food products. So you really want to be careful here with what you are, you know, putting in your body in any way, but I was really getting that smells are super important for you right now. So anyway, Virgo, I hope that you are doing well. Congratulations again on being number 1. I appreciate you guys so much. And I think that you guys are number like 2 or 3. So you can still vote on September's bonus or on for the next series for September's regular reading. So make sure that you do that if you haven't already. And happy birthday, of course. We are in true sidereal Virgo season. So, you know, the sun is in the constellation Virgo right now as I'm recording this, which is October 2nd. We actually have a stellium in Virgo. The sun is there, Venus is there, and Mercury is there. And Mercury just stationed direct today as well. So lots of Virgo energy, which we, you know, the whole world needs. We could all use more angelic frequencies in our life. So anyway, as I mentioned, Virgo, we're just going to do a see what pops up reading. So we're just going to see what pops up. What's going on, Virgo? Okay. Ooh, death. Yeah. Did you see how I wanted to linger? So I feel like, again, you're in this transitionary period, right, of death and rebirth. And Archangel Gabriel is confirming death card, right? It's endings and new beginnings. It's very similar to the World card. If the World card came out with the Fool, it's the same type of energy, the end of the cycle, the beginning. But again, like I said, it kind of wanted to linger there. So it feels like this death energy is sort of lingering. You might be sort of clinging on to the very end of things, or, you know, might be having a difficult time of really letting go here. Let's see what's going on. It wanted to go to the shadow and the subconscious. Yeah, we have steel energy coming to the light. So for some of you, you're recognizing how your energy is literally being stolen, okay? And again, it's like, you know, you're putting in a certain amount of energy and you're being compensated or gotten energy back, and you're recognizing it needs to end because it's literally like this. It's making you a zombie. It's draining you. So, you know, maybe you make the industry average, but it's like, okay, well, that's not enough for me to feel fulfilled, to feel sustained, to be happy, to, you know, enjoy myself, to buy the things even that I want to buy, you know, to do the vacations that I want to. So I definitely feel this energy of a lot of self-worth really like swelling up in you, which is great. But again, it is going to, because you've changed on the inside, now you no longer align with your environment. And so that's where that, you know, energy is coming on. And steel is also about creating energetic boundaries around your aura. So I feel like you are being very protective with your energy at this time, you know, being more mindful of where you put it, where it goes. Let's see what's the shadow here. Okay, we have a couple. All right, we have fighting energy with water energy. So in the shadow, we see that you may be fighting your own emotions about this, or perhaps fighting with someone else, because this is also the sacral chakra, which is where you emotionally or sensually connect to others. And this is also the throat chakra. So there can be some arguments. Maybe it's in the astral realm even, you know, in your dreams. But I'm definitely getting some fighting energy about emotions and Dino, which is a dark type using Ram. So this could be a fight with an Aries, or it just could be, you know, the Ram, which is Aries, is fighting energy in general, right? Aries rules war, it rules anger and aggression and sort of going against something, right? It's like having an opposing force and moving against that opposing force. So yeah, there is a lot of fighting that is going on in your subconscious and your astral in the shadow. And again, it's like you may even be fighting your own emotions in some ways. It says, when it encounters something, its first urge is to usually bite it. If it likes what it tastes, it will commit the associated scent to memory. Yeah, again, you need to be very careful about the scents. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, well, here I am sneezing. So, you know, olfaction, which is smelling, is the sense that is most associated with memory. And so what I'm getting is that, you know, there may be some sense that you are very repelled by, and it can be because of certain memories and things like that. And if your body's having a negative response to certain things, to certain smells, you need to trust what your body is telling you. But it is talking about, you know, when it first encounters something, its urge is to bite it, right? And then if it likes what it tastes. So I feel like some of you may even be like stress eating and things like that, like coping with your emotions, fighting with your emotions instead of feeling them, right? Because this is shadow, dark energy that's in the shadow. Instead of feeling your energy, you're fighting it and just sort of eating a bunch of stuff. But again, I would be very, very careful with the scents that are in your life. And if you start smelling like death energy, that's even more of a sign, right? If you smell something that's like nasty out of nowhere, you know it's not good, right? All right, let's see what else is going on. Yeah, the Tower. To no surprise here, I feel like there's another one. So again, the Tower is when things come crashing down. And like I was saying, you know, Tower moments are not easy. But as I mentioned in the cleansing ceremony, I was feeling that a lot of you are in institutions or with jobs that are crumbling. They're no longer going to be there pretty soon. So again, you don't want to invest all your eggs in that basket necessarily. And the Tower is Mars energy, right? And Mars rules Aries. So there's a lot of Mars, a lot of Aries energy in your reading so far. And Mars is going to be, you know, going retrograde pretty soon. And it's in Taurus, right? Which is a fellow earth sign of yours. So the Tower, the reason why the Tower gets knocked down, right, is because it goes against divine alignment. And so if you build a tower, you know, against God, right, God's going to knock it down. And so this can be saying, like, if you're doing a job that is not aligned with your soul, eventually that job's going to go away no matter what. You can try to cling to it all you want, even though it's already dead, basically. But it's going to get knocked down. So, you know, to be very mindful of this, right? You can try to cling on it to as much as you want. If you want to keep building a tower and fighting against your own water, your own intuition, your own feelings, you know, then go for it. But, you know, again, you can only move against divine alignment for so long until that tower gets knocked down. So you basically can create your own tower moment, which is choosing to, you know, take that leap of faith now and make that change, or you can wait for this to happen and, you know, boom, bam, bang, now you're being disheveled. We have the sun coming out. Wanted to come out stuck, but more in reverse. And yeah, this is not all smiles and sunshine. You know, with the sun in reverse, it does indicate that there can be dark days to come. But when you move through the darkness, you end up getting to the light. With the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, there can be a little bit of financial insecurity in some sort of ways. Again, it feels like your stream of income or whatever, or some sort of relation to the physical world is going to change. And again, you either do that yourself or you wait for the divine to do it for you. And if you're going to wait, well, then I hope that you're taking the steps necessary in order to, you know, cushion yourself properly. We'll just put it that way. And with the Ace of Pentacles, it's also saying, you know, the longer you wait, the harder it is to get into a different situation. You know what I mean? So for example, if you decide to start maybe looking for a new job now or something, it can be a really seamless transition. But if you wait for this tower moment, okay, well, now it's a moment of chaos. Now you're going into the next stage in chaotic energy, which isn't the best time to start something, right? Well, let's see what's the light here. Wow. Did you hear how hard that slapped? Wanted to go right to the adventuring over there. And to the death card, we have cast form using weather force. Yeah, literally. So cast form is, and it's right to the death card. So cast form is this Pokemon. So right here, it's like normal type, okay? And or it's actually air type. And so when cast form changes its form based on the weather forecast. So if rain comes, it turns into a little raindrop. If it's sunny out, it turns into a sun. If it's snowy out, it turns into a piece of ice or like a snowflake looking thing. So again, it's talking about the way that you go into the next thing and deal with this tower moment is based on the weather, is based on your environment. And that environment is completely under your control. You are in this transitionary death and rebirth period, but the way that you rebirth and how you sort of accept this ending and death is up to you. I'm definitely feeling a lot of issues in my gut right now, which of course, you know, Virgo, I know that you rule the gut. You need to trust your gut on this, okay? If you start getting bad feelings in your stomach about something, that's how you know, okay? And so your environment is completely under your control. It says its form changes depending on the weather. The rougher the conditions get, the rougher cast form's disposition. Exactly. Literally what I'm saying. So, you know, the rougher that you allow this to get, the longer that you wait, the more chaotic it's going to become. But again, you have free will and you can do it anytime and wait as long as you want. But just know the longer you wait, the more, the rougher conditions and the rougher disposition you will have. The longer you wait for this tower moment, because it will find you, the less light you're going to see, the less, you know, coin you're going to have. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, and the shadow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, my tummy is just like really hurting. You guys really need to be careful and trust your gut. Because again, if something's off, you know it manifests in your GI tract. And so this is the third eye in reverse. Again, this is going to be, you know, it's like your intuition knows. We saw with the High Priestess, you know, but this coming out twice is telling me you're not necessarily listening to your intuition right now. And, you know, there can be a time where it's like, oh, I'm going to wait for a better time. Well, guess what? If you wait for a better time, it's just going to get worse and worse. And that's kind of what cast form is telling me here. It's getting closer and closer to this tower moment. So, you know, you need to be making the moves that you need to make and trust your intuition more. Okay. With the third eye coming out in reverse, like, you know, you can't wait for a psychic to tell you the exact time and day. Again, you need to listen to your own intuition here. I'm also getting this energy of like, you know, your third eye, your mental space is trying to rationalize things, okay? It's like, oh, why would I do this if blah, 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 blah. Again, you need to trust your gut, not your brain right now, because your brain is trying to hold on to this death energy. It's trying to hold on to what already is, right? Our brain, our nervous system really likes repetition, likes patterns, right? Patterns that repeat bring a sense of safety because we feel like we know what's going to happen. And so the rational mind is like, no, continue to do what you're doing. Hold on to what it is that has been repeating for so long. But again, if you hold on to that, it's going to bring a tower moment. For example, like, let's say, you know, your work habits are unsustainable and you're not being compensated correctly, or you're not getting enough time off. You know, if you don't listen to what's happening, let's say you reach burnout where literally your body just shuts you down and is like, no, now you can't work at all. You know what I mean? And then it puts you in an even worse position than if you were to look for something else and maybe, you know, not have a job for a couple weeks or a month or whatever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, again, the sooner the better when it comes to dealing with the situation of, you know, moving forward. So let's see what Mother Moon would like to say about this. So in the extended, we're just going to look into some guidance from your angels about what is the best way to move forward right now and sort of, you know, what you need to know about moving forward. And as I mentioned, the extended is free. So let's just see what Mother Moon would like to say. We have emotions are running high, coming out stuck. Yeah. Again, we see that there, you know, we saw Nine of Cups, King of Cups, water energy. There is a lot of emotional energy, and I'm sure it's, again, when we change patterns, right? If we get out of the old and into new energy, it does make our emotions run really high because we have so many new feelings about entering new situations. Hold your vision. Yeah, with fixed moon. So I was also getting that some of you, you know, are considering that leap of faith, but your third eye isn't aligned with your vision. And now I'm getting that confirmation that you need to hold your vision with what you want to do. So for example, if you're like, okay, I'm going to quit my job, and then, you know, imagine that the next thing is like, oh, okay, you know, I'm looking for a new job and, oh, I don't find it. And now I'm not making any money and da-da-da. It's like your mind is going into a fear state about it. That it's terrible, that it's this and that there's not enough money or whatever, right? But it's like, no, you know that you deserve more. So the way that your third eye should be, you know, thinking and moving forward is like, okay, I am going to succeed, right? My vision is that I am worth more and I'm going to get what I want. I don't have to go through rough conditions in order to get it. Okay? And again, when your emotions are running high, calm your emotional body down, transmute that emotional energy into what your goal is, which seems to be just to get out of this situation, whether it's a job or not, right? Again, this is a general reading. So to take that energy, and again, we see a lot of ram energy, a lot of fighting energy. You don't want to have to fight anything. You know, envision with your third eye the path that you want to take with nothing in your way, nothing stopping you. Don't call any opposing energy in. Okay, and I think that's a really great way to go into the extended, and we're going to see what else the angels want to say. All right, like I said, the extended is free. Thank you again for all of your support on this channel. The link is in the description box below.